What is going on, guys? It's Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. Now today I have another Q&A video for you guys, and I know I just did one not even a week ago. It was like 5-6 days ago, something like that. I apologize if you don't like the Q&As, but I love answering questions, and especially on the last one, thank you guys so much for all the support on that one. We got a ton of comments. I got a lot of good questions here, so I'm going to try to speed run through them. But as always, if you guys do enjoy these Injustice videos, make sure you leave a like rating. It's always appreciated. And by the way, I just want to mention that I only have, sadly, this is I'm crying tears of soy right now. If you guys get that reference, I love you. But I only have like 2 Injustice 2 beta videos left that I pre-recorded, and it makes me so sad because I'm not gonna have any like actual matches, my own personal matches of Injustice 2 until the game comes out. And I tried really hard to record as many as I could. I could only record like 20, and yeah, that's what you guys have been seeing over the course of the last month since the beta finished. But yeah, no more Injustice 2 beta footage, unfortunately for me, after maybe this weekend. But all right, let's get on to makes me sad. Let's get on to the questions here. Alright, first one comes from Dimitri, and he asks, do you think the Ultimate Edition will have all Injustice 2 DLC characters? Yes. If you buy the Ultimate Edition of Injustice 2, you will be getting every single DLC character without having to pay any extra money. So all 9 DLC characters, as they get released, you won't have to do anything. They will be unlocked as soon as they're available. That's why you're paying for the Ultimate Edition. You know, it's pretty much like a season pass. So moving on here, Michael asks, in Injustice 1, I noticed the meter burn were a little bit difficult to perform. Did they get easier to use in Injustice 2? Good question. And I actually found that some moves actually got harder to perform a meter burn version of. So for example, I'm using Superman here. His meter burn, Ice Breath, very, very easy to do. It's exactly the same as Injustice 2, maybe even easier. But a character like Batman, who has the grapple hook, I found that you needed to press the meter burn button in a smaller window than the first Injustice game. So the first Injustice game, I could meter burn grapples, or I could grapple somebody, and then as soon as the grapple hits the person, I could press the meter burn button and it turns into a meter burn grapple hook. In Injustice 2, you couldn't do that. You actually had to wait until you're going to the opponent, and then you had to press. It felt like a lot smaller window, and you guys saw me mess it up a lot when I was playing as Batman. So I guess it just depends on some characters' moves. For me, on at least Batman's grapple hook, it got harder, but for the most part, it's the same, if not easier, to perform meter burn moves. All right, Mallow Man asks, will you get gear from online single player against a CPU? It's actually an interesting question because this was answered a couple days ago during the Watchtower. So if you are playing single player mode, you are not going to be able to unlock gear unless you are playing versus a tower or completing missions, because what they said, or actually maybe versus the CPU, you might be able to, but for now, what I'm thinking is they don't want you to be, you know, sort of mining for gear in the versus mode by yourself. Like if you're just playing by yourself, because you can have one controller on your hand, obviously, and then have the other controller as the other character and just mine for gear. They definitely don't want people to do that, but maybe versus the CPU you can, but for sure the single player content, as far as, you know, the towers that they're gonna have and probably Star Labs missions and all that, you will be able to earn gear through that. So moving on here, Shazeb asks, do you think Premier skins can be for certain loadouts, e.g. Flash loadout number 1, Reverse Flash loadout number 2? Yes, loadouts are their own separate you know, loadouts. They're like classes. You could pick which one you want. You have 5 different classes that you could pick. Obviously, as you rank your character, I think you start off with 3 by default, and then you get 4 and 5 as you rank your character up. But yeah, you could definitely, for your slot number 1, you could have whatever Flash gear that you have, whatever Flash you want. And then loadout number 2, you could have the Reverse Flash Premier Skin over it, and you could pick either one of those before the game starts. So yes, each one of the classes are their own like separate class that you could individually pick. Moving on here, Jiran asks, out of all characters that are confirmed and that you've seen, who in your opinion is the most needed to be nerfed? Well, as far as like the trailers and just watchtower streams, that's not the finished build of the game, so I'm not going to comment on any of those. But as far as the Injustice 2 beta, I felt that after they nerfed Supergirl, I think most of the characters were balanced pretty well. I think actually all of the characters were pretty well balanced, to be honest with you guys. What I think they're going to do is they're probably going to nerf a couple of things here and there, but not dramatically, because I found that it didn't really matter what matchup I played. I felt very comfortable playing the majority of the matchups with any of the characters. That's the sign of a well-balanced game. I do think Blue Beetle needs a buff for sure. He was definitely the weakest character out of all the characters in the beta, and they might do a little bit about they might do something about Superman's damage or Superman's forward 2-3 breath. Maybe the breath is gonna be like -4 instead of -2, or they'll take off some of the hitbox range of forward 2. I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, for the beta it was pretty well balanced. Moving on here, Luis asks, will you be able to get Darkseid if you don't pre-order the game? So this is an interesting question because, you know, Darkseid right now is a reason to pre-order Injustice 2. So for the first couple of weeks, maybe even months, you will not be able to get Darkseid unless you pre-order Injustice 2. But eventually, NetherRealm will have Darkseid be able to be purchased. The exact same thing happened with Goro. Goro was a pre-order bonus for Mortal Kombat X, and he was not available to be purchased until a couple weeks into the game. And then they started selling him by himself for about, I think it was $2.99, you know, just the character by himself. So at first, you know, of course, they want you to pre-order the game. So Darkseid is an exclusive pre-order bonus, probably for the first couple of weeks, if not months of the game. But eventually, Darkseid will be sold separately. So moving on here, FF Doom asks, do you think you will have to pay for skins if you get the Ultimate Edition? Yes, you will have to pay for Premier skins, but not the Reverse Flash, Power Girl, and Jon Stewart skins. Those skins come included with the Ultimate Edition, but any of the other ones, like, you know, Mr. Freeze and whatever other Premier costumes are going to be available for Injustice 2, you will be able to earn them through the single player mode. You know, they mentioned passing something in the single player mode. No specifics on what single player mode it is. Probably going to be the latter. You know, once you beat the character ladder mode, you'll be able to unlock their Premier skin. If you don't want to do that, you could buy source crystals with your own real life money, and you can use the source crystals to purchase the Premier skin if you don't want to grind for it. But you will have to either pay or just earn the Premier skins. Actually, I take that back. You don't need to pay for the Premier skins if you don't want to. You could earn them as you go along. But if you want to pay for them, you will. But the only ones that you will get for free in the Ultimate Edition are Reverse Flash, Power Girl, and Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. Moving on here, Mr. H asks, do you think playing with a Premier skin will give a different character ending? For example, finishing the character's individual story mode, playing as Supergirl compared to Power Girl. That's a really interesting question, and a question that I am going out on a limb and saying that if you end the story mode, the classic ladder mode, with a Premier skin, I do believe that that Premier skin will have its own unique story, like unique ending, because that's the whole gimmick, that's the whole you know, promotion for these Premier skins. They're like their own separate character. You know, they have their own voice actor, they have their own intro dialogues, they have their own clash quotes, they have their own, you know, unique voice separate from the normal characters. So I do think that a Premier skin, if you complete the classic ladder mode with that Premier skin, I do think that it's going to have a different unique ending. Like Power Girl is going to have her own unique ending compared to what Supergirl has. So that's a really good question. All right, where was I? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Brian Jackson asks, do you think they will stay true to Power Girl's appearance, or are they going to make her an A cup? Oh man, the most important question of all, right? I really think that NetherRealm had a track record before of going lewd with the female characters for their game. Just look at Melina's costume in MK9, and they toned it down a lot with Injustice 1, and then when actually Wonder Woman was still, you know, really busty, but with MKX they toned it down so much. Like, you really don't see the female characters be anywhere near as lewd as MK9. So I think as far as Injustice 2 goes, it's maintaining that from Mortal Kombat X. You really don't see any lewd skins, any you know, any of that stuff in this game. So I'm hoping that they stay true to Power Girl at least. I don't know if they're gonna have, well, they have to have Power Girl's big boobs. They have to, right? That's what separates Power Girl from Supergirl, the big ass boobs. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that they maintain to the character's true form. If they don't, a lot of people are gonna be upset. Trust me, they will be upset. So moving on here, let's see, what's the last one here? Ooh, 11 minutes. Damn, I love to talk. All right, last one comes from Anthony, and he says, will there be a season pass? I bought the normal version and really want the Reverse Flash Premiere skin. Anthony, what I would recommend for you to do is cancel the pre-order for your regular game and purchase the Ultimate Edition, because the Ultimate Edition is the season pass of Injustice 2. You get Reverse Flash, you get John Stewart, you get Power Girl included in your Ultimate Edition, along with all 9 of the DLC characters without having to pay for them separately when they are released. And it's going to save you a lot of money in the long run, because each DLC character will end up being you know, maybe $3.99, something like that. If they package them in 4 characters, they're going to be sold for like $20. So you're definitely going to be saving money if you get the Ultimate Edition. That's what I did. But if you don't have the money, I would just recommend for you to wait till the game comes out and, you know, grind for the Reverse Flash costume. I don't know if they're going to sell like a season pass by itself, but the Ultimate Edition is pretty much like the season pass of the game. So that's going to be the end of today's Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I will see you guys next time.